Let's go. What's up, everybody? This is Austin O'Connell, and we're gonna look at some trading, some charts. All right, so we're gonna be looking at Litecoin. This is my number one play for 2026. As far as risk and reward go, um, just want to start by looking at the yearly chart, and you can kind of tell you can kind of see this beautiful symmetrical triangle. It even looks like a flag here on the yearly. Um, also, just want to say we have an inside candle from 2 years ago. So 2025, all price action was within the range of the 2024. So with that said, that kind of gives us a possible entry point of about 150. I know that's 100. That's about 100% up. But that I do anticipate that breaking. That's just one area that we will see confirmation to the upside. Of course, on the flip side, we under no circumstances do we want to lose that $50 range, um, which also shows you kind of the risk reward here for crypto is pretty decent. Um, it's a little bit safer than some of the cryptos. Um, so that's all I want to talk about with the yearly, really, just to show you that there's an inside candle. Clearly tell this symmetrical triangle is here. Let's check out the 3 month real quick, actually. Yeah. So here you can see the symmetrical triangle. I think it looks the best actually on the 3 month. For me. Yeah, that just looks beautiful. I mean, we are really coming into that apex. Something really has to give. I think it's going up. I know the 3 month doesn't look great, especially we have essentially a bearish engulfing candle. So it easily could dump, and that would spell trouble. We just had to play that out when it comes. Yeah, again, this thing is just so big. Can't stress the importance of that enough. It is just if we do break this, you can kind of tell we've never closed above $112 on the 3 month chart. Yet we've hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in the last 2 or 3 years. So that's a big level. Again, we have the 140, 150 showing us, and we get a close here in the next 3 months above 115. That would also indicate upside, according to me. But again, this 8 year, it just means once we get to these levels, it's just going to go so high and so quickly. We're going to get something like this, or hopefully something like this, where we just get a whole year of upside. Let's see how that plays out. So again, looking at here's a view from the monthly of the symmetrical triangle. Again, it looks a lot like XRP did before it broke out. And I'll get down to the daily and show you some more too. I'm seeing that might be surprisingly bullish here. Monthly, we also actually have an inside candle here from the October liquidation event. Now, some of these are different. I'm using Coinbase because I don't know. I guess I could use crypto, but anyway, some of them might be different. The low, but essentially, I think about $70, which is also would coincide with the break of this triangle. So I don't want to see this go below 70 at all. That would really another liquidation event I would expect to happen. So there's that. Let's see. Now, going to the weekly, we have a bit of a difference. We can still use this, actually. We can use this bottom trend line, but for the top, let's just go ahead and let's shorten this. Well, it can stay. Let's just clone this. I'm going to show you this channel. I'm seeing a bit of a channel here. So we really don't need much after that. That's interesting. I never really looked at it back there, but we're over here. Kind of shows the break. But anyway, I'm more concerned with kind of this little area. This dating back to July of 22. You can see we're definitely in this channel. We're at the bottom of it, obviously, which could be okay. Not great. Again, now the things are kind of lining up, but if it goes, it's kind of a good. I hate to buy the bottoms or whatever, but the risk reward is pretty good here. It's just at the bottom of the channel. You can enter and put some tight stop losses here. That's I don't know. I'm not looking to go short or anything, but just it's interesting. Yeah, I don't want us to lose $70. Not even for a wick, to be honest. I want to see us bounce back. And again, if we bounce back up to the top of this channel, we'll be breaking some of those other levels. And then I would anticipate us to be able to break out of this channel on the next kind of attempt, maybe in halfway through the year, something like that. So I think, like I said, I think Litecoin's my number one crypto play for 2026. Been wrong for about 2 years on this one, so it's time for me to be right. Weekly, even if we're looking really closely too, we have a little bit of an inside candle from a couple weeks ago. So I think let's see if we can break about an 81.50 and then start to go up. These candles for the last couple of weeks are not terrible. A lot of the other cryptos have made lower lows than the October liquidation event. So that's definitely a good sign. We'll get into some of the pairs later. But let's go ahead and go to the daily. And so I've had this wedge pattern in here for a little while, and it just broke out yesterday. I'd follow through today. I want this, to go above $82. Would be great. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah, moving averages are not great, but that can change. So, and if this thing breaks out, $46. Again, the dominoes really could start falling. We had about 46. It's good. Take us to about $1.26, which would get us close to these other levels, and then I think it would be off to the races. That would be beautiful. Let's get up here, take out these highs, and go higher. So that's my game plan. See, we're pulling back this morning, which is fine. That's kind of what I wanted to say as far as the Litecoin chart goes. It's interesting to me. Now let's check out the pairs. Start with Bitcoin, of course. And you can see that it's been going pretty sideways for the past year or so. And then even more recently, it's kind of making higher lows. I mean, it did have, again, a liquidation event, which is, it took out the lows, but that closes were higher. We could be getting, so it just looks like we're getting something good here. And that is always important when we have an asset that's outperforming Bitcoin, the apex predator of assets, the best asset in the world. I think it's time to take notice. And this goes back to March of 25, so it's about a year, but you can kind of see it's just like a multiple bottom type thing. It's like one bottom, two bottom, a double bottom type of structure. So I like it. Let's put some moving averages on there. Yeah, and the moving averages are right there. So we get a little bit of an upside break, and this thing, all the moving averages will be in our favor and be able to push this thing higher. Again, I've been bullish at multiple times. As you can kind of see this area, I was definitely bullish over here, and then we just had a real bad run in this spring to summer. But since then, we've recovered against Bitcoin. So I think that's interesting. I think it's definitely one of the better charts pairs. So keep an eye on that. We'll go to ETH next. ETH isn't looking as good, but still it kind of has, it's almost a little cleaner. Let's take some of these things off. I'll leave that there. I like this. Remember, I put that in. Here, maybe we do more have a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, something like that. But I'm a fan. I mean, again, since I think looking back to October 10th and kind of seeing what's doing well since then is a good idea. Since that was a major event, and kind of basing some trading off of that. So there's that. And then even better is this Litecoin ETH or Litecoin XRP chart, which I've been following for a little while as well. And I think this could really go higher. I think we probably have the moving averages in our favor here. So again, I think Litecoin's outperforming some of the big three, or on par with the big three, or two of them, and then kind of outperforming XRP. So that's why Litecoin's my favorite token for 2026. I'm asking John McAfee to help us out here. Thank you for the appearance. Here's the order book, and I mean, it's just good that I'm not seeing a bunch of red up here, so it's all right. What is even better is the Litecoin Bitcoin buying. So this just indicates buying, and then red on top indicates selling. So I'm seeing a lot of buying on this chart. This has been for all of December essentially. So that's interesting. I'm a fan of Litecoin here. I think there's kind of three phases to it. The daily kind of has this daily wedge. Weekly has this ascending channel, which again could break down. But I think we're going to go to the top of the channel, which would then break the kind of the monthly, that monthly symmetrical triangle and send us higher. So let's see. I think it could last a year, but it could last a little longer. I guess if we want to put a kind of our price target on this thing, I would say, it's kind of, I kind of like that. Let's see what that indicates. So 393. Obviously, it's hard to tell where the breakout will be, but we'll put it right about this. 393. So $10 less than that. So about 530, 525. We'll say 525 to be conservative. So that's my initial price target. I do think then it will go higher and probably to $800 or $1,000, but I'll say I'll call $525 for Litecoin this year. You can do the math. That's a great return. Um, so this is what I'm looking at. And there you go. The best crypto of 2026 is Litecoin. Oh yeah, I forgot to. I mean, of course, I think if you're a trader, you know that silver was one of the best trades out there. And then I'm sure you're aware of people sometimes referring to Litecoin as the silver of the crypto industry. So I kind of like that little nuance to it. But yeah, there you go. Let's go. Ciao, ciao.